Hello everybody, it's Oak Tree Tarot Reader here and welcome to my pick a card video. So I've had some new subscribers, welcome to you, and welcome to everybody else who's been a faithful and loyal viewer and subscriber since the beginning, and anyone that just might be passing by and has seen my video on their algorithm, their suggestions or whatever. Everyone's welcome. So I wanted to do a video on life after lockdown, and that's what I'm going to call the title of the video, Life After Lockdown, because I'm recording this at the end of April 2020, where my country England's been in lockdown for a month and probably for a few more weeks where we can't live our life as we normally would do. And I know a lot of other people in a lot of countries are in exactly the same boat as I am, but I'm looking forward now to the future of what is my life going to be like at the end of it, and what opportunities are there, what could my focus be, so on and so forth. But I want to leave this open to a lot of you that hopefully you're still listening. You can adapt to the reading to anything. So if there's something going on in your life that you're very restricted by, that you can't live as you normally would live, and you want to know what your life will be like when it's over, you can still pick a card, enjoy the reading and adapt what I say to your particular circumstance. So it doesn't have to be about coronavirus. So I've set out 4 readings. We've got number 1, which is the rider, number 2, which is the lion, number 3, which is the train, and number 4, which is the snake. So I want you to close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, relax, and when you feel ready, make your choice. Don't overthink it, don't doubt yourself, trust your gut, trust your instincts. If you need a bit more time to do that, then please press pause. And then when you've made your choice, go ahead and click on the timestamps provided. Okay then, those of you that chose number 1, the rider, this is your reading. So what's your life going to be like when the lockdown's over, when things are back to normal? I'm thinking this is the initial lockdown. I mean, there's been warnings from a lot of people that we may have a couple of rounds of coronavirus sort of sweeping around. I don't know what will happen in the future with that, whether we'll have further lockdowns or part lockdowns in the future. But what I'm thinking is that the initial one where we really can't go out of the house unless it's to go to work or to buy food, when things are back open, your focus absolutely is going to be reconnecting with everybody. Things are going to be slow moving for you though. I think you're going to be working to rebuild your wealth. So I think some of you have been restricted in earning, whether you're self-employed or your business, like here in the UK, there's been a sort of a guarantee for 80% of your wages, but that's still 20% of wages missing. And I know that there are lots of savings for us all because we're not eating out, we're not, paying for petrol because we can't really go out anywhere and things like that. So I think for you, because we've got the King of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, there's a focus on work and earning money and that kind of thing, that kind of security. And I think you're going to be slowly building that back up. So I must warn you, you're not going to suddenly back into the swing of things economically. I think for you, although I don't see any destitution, I think you are going to be abundant in your finances and your security. I think you're going to be slowly building things back up. So again, if you're self-employed, most of your clients are still going to be there, but you're going to have to start working to build up your clientele, build up your income again. And it might take a few months really. So I don't want you to be worried because you're not destitute, you're not bankrupt, you're not in poverty, absolutely not. I think you're going to be quite innovative. I think you're going to take what you've learned and if you're using your time effectively now on building up your skills and sort of trying new avenues, I think that's going to pay off. But you're going to be working really, really hard. I think you're going to be putting in the hours in order to have your King of Pentacles, your financial abundance. The King of Pentacles is the provider. He's the father that goes out and earns the money for the family. That's the purpose. He has his emotional and mental security in providing. He's a provider. He likes to make sure to know that his partner and children are taken care of, and it's through his hard work, his hard graft. That's what the Knight of Pentacles aspires to. So this is why I'm saying that I think that you're going to go out, and some of you might have a new job, a different job, but you're fine with that because you understand that you're going to be providing with that. If you're a woman and you're a single woman, it doesn't matter. Your family is yourself. It may be you, your pets, or whatever. You're providing for yourself, and you understand that in order to support your household, even if it's just you in a little flat or a bedsit or something, it doesn't matter. It's your household. You're going to be fine. And you're going to be working hard and building up. So if you've lost anything, you will regain it. And I think you're going to do even better than you have previously, because I think you've learned a lot of lessons from this. There's this fortifying expansion. This sort of leads into this idea of your work, that you're going to fortify what you do, you're going to reinforce what you do, and you're going to expand. But I think also it's your personal relationships. Whether it's a relationship that you're in already, maybe you don't live alone, maybe you are married with kids, it doesn't matter. It's about meeting friends, being able to talk to them, to actually go and see your family, because here in England you can't. But you're going to be able to do that. And I think some of you, if you're in a bit of a relationship already that's just, going out, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, adapt to your situation, I think it's going to cause you to deepen that current connection. I think you're going to want to take it further, so that you are now thinking about the family that you would like to have to provide for. If you're in a relationship, it's still the same thing. You want to deepen it. Even if you've been married for 20 years and your kids are basically growing up and, flying in the nest, it doesn't matter. You're still deepening it. You're deepening your connections with other people around you and refocusing on your career, your earning power, the things that provide you with security in your world. In your love life, I think that you are now aware of the bad things that have affected your love life. I'm focusing on the addictions are affecting your love life. You might be in a codependent relationship, but I don't think so. I don't see that in any others. If you're in a codependent relationship, you're going to now deal with it. You're going to get rid of that codependency. And I think probably the lockdown has done that for you, it's made you realise the toxic parts of your relationship, or the parts of yourself that endanger your connections with your friends, your family, your lovers, your children, even your pets. It's given you time, I feel, to realise who you really are, or what you have become. And some of you may have become someone that you didn't want to be, or life has gone in a direction that you didn't want it to. You had different plans, and now all of a sudden they haven't happened, and you're looking back and thinking, well, by this age I planned on having all these things and they're not there. And I think this is where the focus comes in that you now realise you want them, and that you want the secure foundation of life, is the only way I can describe it. Because I think some of you have been found that there's parts of your life that you're very happy with and other parts that you're not, and you're going to start focusing on the things that you're not. Give your relationship a chance. I think if you're in a relationship and you've realised what does and doesn't work, you're working on that relationship. You absolutely are working on that relationship. If you're completely single, whether you've thought about being in a relationship in the past, you've had failed relationships, you've sort of thought, well, maybe in the future I'll meet someone, but not quite yet. That's going to change after this lockdown, especially if you've been on your own. You've been quite solitary. As you realise, I think that you want someone to depend on. And I think that the addictions, the solitariness for some of you is what's affected your love life, is that you're quite content on your own. And I think that's going to change, is that you're going to work on finding a partnership that, you know, isn't toxic, is a healthy one, that has all the positivity that a good relationship has, where you can support each other, nurture each other, take care of each other, and be secure. I think this is you finding a love of your life, you know, the love and the marriage that you can dedicate your life to and your effort. Because we've got sacred union, commitment ceremony, maturing into a deep relationship. Now, if you're single, you haven't got a relationship to deepen and mature into. I think you're trying to find a new partnership that's fun, that's positive, that doesn't have any codependency or nasty addictions that perhaps previous relationships have had. I think you're really refining what you want out of life and what you don't. And when all this lockdown's finished, you're going after it. And I don't think anything's going to stop you, because we've got the Knight of Pentacles, who is a hard worker. He grafts. If he has to work a 12-hour day to get the job done, he will. There's nothing going to stop you. And also the Page of Pentacles is the student. They're the learner. You're willing to go out there and learn what you need to do in order to get your King of Pentacles. That happy family, where you work for the family, where you work for the common good of a partner and kids or pets or whatever family represents for you. It's about being financially abundant, but also emotionally and security abundant, if I can describe it in that way. It's not very clear, but it's abundant in knowledge that you have everything that you need. That's really, really important. And what you don't have, you can acquire. So this is really positive. It's a really lovely, determined, warm, positive reading, where you've gone through an awful lot of self-growth and self-knowledge. You've sort of really analysed yourself and what direction your life's going in. And for those of you where life's good, you want it to carry on, and you're going to make sure it carries on, and you're going to connect to your loved ones and enjoy them, and, you know, it's all wonderful. And for those of you that are sort of realise that you're perhaps not doing the job you want to do, that you're not in the relationship you want to be in, you're now realising that and moving forward and focusing on how you can make it happen. And it'll all happen, absolutely, because I think if you believe, I think you do believe. And if you carry on believing that you're going to meet the right person, that you're going to find the right job, that you're going to have the happy relationship you want, so on, promotions, whatever, it's going to happen for you. It's all down to you, and you have the power to get what you want. So I'm really pleased to give you that lovely reading. If you want something more personal, perfectly tailored to you, then you'll have to get a private reading with me. The details are in the description box, so have a look there. I look forward to hearing from you. But otherwise, I'm going to leave you with this lovely reading. Please take very good care of yourself. Thank you for listening to me, and goodbye. Okay then, number 2's the Lions. This is your reading. So what's life going to be like after the lockdown, or whatever restrictive phase of life that you are going through? What's it going to be like? Well, first of all, no need to worry. So I want you to be reassured that everything's going to be fine when everything's back to normal. Let's start off with the wonderful news first, is that you're going to meet someone. If you're completely single, you are going to meet someone. It's going to make you feel really good. It's going to be wonderful. I think initially, it's normally an alarming card, deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. I think what this means is that this is someone that you don't really know, you haven't met before. It's perhaps not somebody you've got a crush on. Sorry if you've got a raging crush on someone. But I feel this is someone new. But also I feel that this is someone that you're going to be a bit shy around, that you're not really going to reveal your true self to, and perhaps that they're going to do the same, or they will be the one doing that. I'm tempted to do another shuffle. I might do that. Let's see what how I interpret the rest of the reading. But I think initially is that you don't feel too alarmed, because at the beginning of a relationship, when you first meet someone, you don't really reveal who you are. You show your best side. You don't let on to this person that you fart like a trooper first thing in the morning, and that you snore, and that in fact you hate shaving your legs, and you've only put makeup on because it's a special occasion, or that, all the usual things that when you really actually connect with someone and you live with them and you have that intimacy with someone, that you just sort of reveal your true self and you say, this is me. And I can't pretend that I don't fart, I do, that kind of thing. So I think initially you're really trying to impress this person. That's how I interpret it, or that they're trying to do with you. So I think initially in this new love, and this is only just the initial, it's not, a different reading for the actual relationship. I think that it's all wonderful. It's new love, courtship, romance, falling in love. I think you're really, really going to meet someone that you're going to connect to. But it's going to be someone that I don't think many people are going to know about this new love. I think not that it's a secret, not that it's like, oh, you're ashamed of each other. It's more that it's private. That's what I get the feeling of, is that it's private. That you're perhaps going to meet online and send messages to each other. And sort of, you're not going to immediately go around to your parents and say, I've met someone. I feel that this is one where you both dip your toes in gently and sort of, I think, get to know each other before you let on that you are with each other. So I feel, regardless of the fact that there's probably going to be quite intense feelings very early on, I think actually what's going to happen is that you're not going to let on. I think you're going to slowly move and get to know each other. Because what strikes me is that they are the two with the masks on, but the third person who's watching is maskless. They don't have a mask on. It's just those two. And I think they know each other. She's putting her hand on him. He's sort of looking, I think it's a he, it looks like a he. The body language is that there's a connection between the two of them, but they try not to reveal it to her. So that's what strikes me, and the fact that they're going off on their own, it's time to disconnect. I think it's a private connection where you both try and get to know each other. And this is why I'm feeling that don't worry about it. I feel a new love is very important. If you're in a connection already, if you're already in a relationship, I think after the lockdown, you're still gonna enjoy time away from other people, and that it's renewing your love affair. And I think the masks are being taken off. And I think through this lockdown and the continuation of this energy post-lockdown is that you're really discovering who each other are, that you're really, especially if this is the first time you've lived together, you're really understanding who each other are. And I think someone is desperately, not wanting to let their bad side come forward. Moving on from that, what's going to be happening more generally in your life when we sort of get things back to normal? You're going to be carrying on sort of doing things that bring you comfort. You're going to be doing things that bring you enjoyment. It's the Six of Cups. There's a sense of memory, of nostalgia in it. So you might be looking back at things and doing something that you've done before. Or I always look at it particularly with this card because it's so sweet. She's playing with her doll, she's having a little tea party. She doesn't care what anyone else thinks. To her, they're real dolls. They're really drinking the tea and eating the pretend cake. And she's got her own little world going on. So I think if there's something going on using your imagination, involving your own world, where you're, in this sense of retreat, that you're not really going out. I think for a lot of you post-lockdown, although you can go out, I don't think a lot of you are actively rushing to go to a concert, to go to every restaurant that you haven't been able to attend to. I think a lot of you are still going to stay at home and eat, are still going to have a bit of retreat in your life. but doing things that really bring you joy. They're innocent contentment. And that you don't care what anyone else thinks. They're important to you and real to you, and that you're going to invest your time in it. And I think that you're going to have a great deal of emotional abundance, because we've got the 10 of Cups. It's happily ever after. And it's again another couple that are absolutely swimming together in love. So if you're in a relationship, it's going to carry on going really well. And I think meeting someone or coming in contact with someone new is going to make you feel top of the world. And I think you're going to be fighting to keep all the things that you love. I think you have a life that you love and you want to carry on living it as best you can. So regardless of whatever problems you've got at the moment, they will pass, and it's no need to worry, because things will get better and will improve, or at the very least continue in this positive vein. I think you're on the up no matter what. Even if you're like at the moment rock bottom, you've hit rock bottom, things are going to improve. And you're really going to be defending your corner. You're going to be defending something that's really precious and important to you. It could be your kids, could be something in your life that, your pets even. But she's there fighting this badger. The badger is not getting her babies. She will fight tooth and nail for them. So that's what you're going to be. You're going to be defending something that's really important to you. That, I feel for some of you, it just feels like a creative project. Because it always reminds me of creativity in this particular deck with this card, because she's living in her own little world. So if you're a particularly creative person, like you're a writer, an artist, a singer, musician or something, you're going to be focusing on that, and you're going to defend your right to do so. And it brings you great emotional abundance. You are coming into your own power, and you are absolutely binding your life together. That's the only way I can find it is I think you're coming into a situation where you are binding with a new person. I feel for a lot of you, this is the relationship. This is why there's sort of, being tender and careful and not overstepping the boundaries and slowly revealing things, because you don't want to blow it. But I think there is a binding going on here. I think you're actually leaving one life behind and moving into another life. Because of this beginning and endings and galactic communications, premonition. This is important. This is a new phase in your life where I think magical things can happen for you. And I think it's because of this defence. I think you've wanted something for a long time, possibly a love relationship. And your prayers have been answered. You can see the way things are going to go, and that you want them to happen, and you're going to fight for it. And I think that's the secret, to a lot of energy here, where you've got the power and you've got the willpower to do it, and you're binding yourself into a new destiny, a new future, however you want to phase it. And that's why there's no need to worry, because you're sort of in control, I think. And we've got the Lion as well, is that there's a lot more power in you than you realise, and there's a lot more power in the future than you realise. I think you're really making something happen in your life, and it's bringing you into a position where you meet this new love. And I mean, if you're sort of the person that's like, no, I don't want a love affair, I'm single and I'm intending to stay that way, it can be something important in your life that you will fall in love with, a new career, a new project, a new opportunity. It could be a pet. But either way, you've got a really good future ahead of you, because you're really determined to make it happen. And what you want isn't impossible. Yeah. There's something else about this card. There's something here about the premonition part. I think a lot of you, maybe some of you have been dreaming about it, or maybe trying to manifest it, trying to make it a reality in your life, wishing for it and taking steps to achieve it. Whatever you're doing is the right thing to do. And I think a lot of you are sort of, if I put this effort in, I'm going to meet this type of person. I'm going to get the courtship or the new romance that I want. In galactic communications, I just feel you're going to meet this person online. And that's why there's the self-deception, because, you know, when you connect online, like, I mean, here, you don't know what my face looks like. You know what my hands look like, but you don't know what my face looks like, which is good because I don't remember the last time I put any makeup on, over a month ago. But yeah, you don't know anything, but actually we have a connection because I talk to you, I offer you these readings and you offer me back nice comments and views, and you like to listen to what I say, but there's that mask between us, that distance. So I feel that there's an online aspect to this, where you might connect to each other online first. So good luck. That's your reading. Good luck with this thing. Always be safe, be sensible online. I am old-fashioned in that sense. Protect yourself. But I've got really good feelings about you. I'm not worried about you at all, and I don't want you to worry either, for obvious reasons. But you have the power. You have everything you need to make a success of the future. I think that you're realising that possibly for the first time, and that this love affair is going to give you a lot of confidence. So good on you. You take very good care of yourself. If you want something more specific to your particular personal situation, you need a private reading, check out the description box. All the details are there for you to follow. I will look forward to hearing from you. So please take very good care of yourself. Thank you very much for listening to me, and goodbye. Okay, those of you that chose number 3, the train, this is your reading. It's another good one. So post-lockdown or post whatever restrictive phase of life that you're in, what will your life be like? So when things open up, you've got it so magnificent. And it's only reading 3. I've got another one to go, but this is the best one so far. It's all to do with your love life. Really, if I'm honest. Sorry if you haven't got much of a love life, or that you're not interested in a love life. I will talk about a different viewpoint of it that excludes love afterwards. So just give me a few minutes. But listen anyway, just in case there's anything that will resonate with your particular situation. So we've got the Star, 6 of Swords, Queen of Cups, Wedding, You Deserve Love, Don't Stop, Rose, Elderflower, Chili Pepper, Carry Me Home, and The Secret Path. It's just all wonderful. If you're in a love relationship already, you've not been able to be together as much, or you know, maybe you haven't been able to get married. A lot of people have had to cancel their weddings because of the coronavirus and the lockdown and whatever. It's a real tragedy. Things are going to come round. The love's still there. You're still protected in this relationship. You're managing to come through this very well. There's still this ferocity of passion and heat. The love's still there. You're still going to get married. There's a feeling here that you've got to let things happen. Both these cards. You can't control this. The bad luck is being warded off. There's still the love there. There's still the connection. But you can't control what's happening in the world because of coronavirus and the actions of certain governments in the world. It's just uncontrollable. But the love's still there. The wedding will still go ahead. So some of you, if you're having a destination wedding or something, you might have to adapt your plan. What I want you to remember, if your heart has just lurched at that idea, is it doesn't really matter where you get married. It matters who you're getting married to and the marriage. The wedding is just the day in which you formally announce to everybody that you're sticking together for the rest of your life. It's the contract signing of the contract. So it doesn't really matter where you do it. The love's the important thing, and you are lovable, and you do deserve love. And I think there's a real focus on that. And it's telling you not to stop. Don't let your plans change. As much as I've just said, if you've got a destination wedding, some of you might struggle and not have it happen. If you really want the destination wedding and you've been told it's a 2-year wait to get on the list from when you were going to have your wedding, if you really want it, wait the 2 years. If you just want to get married and start your life together, change your plans a bit, don't stop. Whatever your focus is on the moment, what the real priority is for you, don't stop. The Star, things are just going to be so positive and hopeful. You're full of hope, sort of dreams come true, wish upon a star, aspirational. I always think of it as quite good fortune in not in a serious life-changing way like the Wheel of Fortune is. No, for me the Star is just that sort of a little bit of a gift, a little bit of good luck that sort of makes you feel good but doesn't really change anything. Like when you have a small lottery win, like you buy a lottery ticket and you win 50 quid or something. It's not going to pay off your mortgage, but it might take you out for a nice meal, an evening out, or you could just buy something nice for the house with it. And the Six of Swords is this change, this transformation. I think some of you might still be getting married abroad because it's the Six of Swords, but I think the reality is that you've had a life lesson of realising what's really important compared to what you thought was important. And it's allowed you to change your mind and adapt your mind, that you're moving on from like the black crows that are sort of pecking and causing trouble and being oppressive, and you're on the beautiful bright light swan who's flying you off somewhere to a better place. You're mentally letting go of the rubbish and moving into positivity. That's why there's the Star energy. Sorry, jolted the tripod. And you're in the Queen of Cups energy, which is loving, sweet, kind. She can come across as a bit downtrodden because everybody exploits her kindness and her emotional abundance, let's say. She's just so kind and so sweet and so nurturing and so caring. She's really sweet. She cries at sad films and sad endings in a book. She's just really lovely. So you're falling into, I think, this energy of sweetness and kindness and being she's still emotionally mature and emotionally intelligent. She's very empathetic. This is why she's so sensitive in a way. And you're in that energy. This feels like new bride energy, or going to be a bride energy, if I'm honest. So I think a lot of you is just it just seems like you're going to get married. So now I've got to try and adapt this to without love. If we're talking about your career or your life generally, you've still got all that positivity. Your career is not dead in the water. It's actually going to be okay. I think there might be a few changes in your life, your career after this. But I think you're going to flow with it. You can't control it. If your company has to downsize because of this, you'll keep your job, or at the very least, you'll be in a position that you're not anxious about the future. But there's nothing you can do. So don't worry about it. Don't try and control anything you can't control. And I think that for a lot of you, like love life included, an irresistible pull down a distinct path. I think if you're making plans generally, career, whatever, in your life, they're not necessarily going to happen. Some other things are going to take place in your life that divert you from one path and take you onto another. And it's just this feeling that nothing can stop that. You're not in control. You say, oh yeah, I'm going to go and do this. And it's like, no. Something else is going to come up that's a really good opportunity that you divert. Some of you who are so focused on your career and you just don't think it's ever going to happen that you're going to meet someone, or you don't want it to happen that you're going to meet someone, I'm afraid you are going to meet someone, I feel. And that this situation involves marriage. This could be someone that I feel will settle down and marry. And I think the ferocity of your feeling is in the unexpected romance. And I think you're really going to resist that romance, because I feel that for a lot of you, you've never intended on getting married. But it's going to be happening. It's time for it to happen now. And I don't think you've got any control over it. And this is why I feel that you're moving into a more emotional state. This is a love reading, it's not a career reading. I'm really, trying to put the career into it, but I just feel it isn't. It could be a brand new career that you're madly in love with. Or it could be the growing depth of your love relationship, that you recommit to each other in a brand new way and you find new passion for each other, probably because you've been forced to spend more time together. Or you've been forced to reevaluate how important your career is in your life when you can't work at it so much. Because you haven't been able to go to the office, I imagine, quite a lot of you. And there's just this ferocity. The chili pepper is just going to, boom, strike you. And I think you're really going to be defensive against it. But I want to remind you that you are lovable, that you do deserve love. You deserve to have someone that you can turn to and be supported by, rather than standing alone and independent. I feel that this person does find you very lovable, and you find very attractive in a way that some of you have not experienced before and can't put into words. I think it's just, I think you're just going to find somebody that's really going to support you. And if it's not a love relationship, I think it could be through employment, that you find, rather than being self-employed, you get employment from someone else where they find you the work. But the message is to not stop. There's something that you're doing in your life that's for the good, and it's saying don't stop. So if you've wanted to do something different and you've been spending your lockdown learning new skills, working on a project that you've not had the time to devote to, this is all for the good. And it's saying don't you dare stop. You're on the right path. You are on the right path, and it's a change in your life that's been long overdue, that you've really, really needed, and some of you have really, really wanted, even if you've thought it's never going to happen. And now is the time for it to happen. So you're going to have your bit of resistance. I think there is going to be a touch of resistance, but then I think that you're going to see the wisdom of just going down this new route that you, I suspect, haven't been down before. And you're going to have to let other people help you. So if you're very self-sufficient, very independent, like to do things yourself, then you're going to have excuse me, it's got my throat's dry. You're going to find that it's time that you're willing, perhaps more than you ever have before, to recognise that other people aren't bad, and that you can let other people in and it'll all be for the good. This is all wonderful. It's a very loving reading, very warm and loving. And I feel that's going to be a surprise to those that watch it, that this is what the post-coronavirus is going to be like. So just accept the love in whatever form that it comes in. Don't worry about it. Don't stop. Even when you do have these fears of, this desire to protect yourself, ward off trouble, don't stop. Don't let it stop the good that's coming into your life, because you are having an awful lot of good coming into your life. Really good. And it's only going to make your life better, and it's something that's going to endure and stay in your life for quite some time. So I'm going to leave you with that. If you want a more private, personal reading, then you're going to have to contact me for one. All the information that you need is in the description box. I'm very pleased and looking forward to hearing from you. But otherwise, I wish you all the best of luck for the future. Please take very good care of yourself. Thank you for listening to me, and goodbye. Okay, those that chose number 4, the snake, also known as Lady Wearing Glasses, this is your reading. So what's going to happen to you when the lockdown finishes, or whatever this restrictive phase in your life is? When it ends, what's going to be happening? So I think what's happened in this lockdown, this phase, for you, is that you've come to realise that something in your life can't continue. It's the end of something. It's run its course, it's finished. It's not been very good for you, I feel. And so I think post-lockdown, you've decided to finish it, decided to do something about it, if not finish it. You've decided to try and improve the situation. So if this is a romantic relationship that's not gone the way you wanted, you're going to have the courage post-lockdown to deal with it, to deal with the painful issues, the bits that you have been resisting and avoiding. It doesn't mean that you're going to end the relationship or that the relationship will end. It means that you're going to work on it. And I think for a lot of you, it's work that's been needed to have been done for quite some time. It could be about your career as well, or a personal relationship with your family or with yourself, or something that's going on otherwise. So you're ready. You're ready. You're absolutely ready. I think you're going to enter into a phase of thinking about it. You're not going to rush into any action. I think this phase is making you realise what's wrong and acknowledge what's wrong. And afterwards, when everything's a bit more back to normal, you're going to invest the time in thinking what you're going to do about it. You know, what option should you take? What action should you take in this thing? You're not going to rush it, you're going to think about it. You've decided you need to do it, but you're not sure what it is you're going to do. I've just realised someone's gone in the kitchen and they're using the microwave and boiling the kettle. So if you can hear anything in the background, I do apologise. I'm hoping the microphone won't pick it up. So then I think you're going to decide what you're going to move away from, because we've got the Four of Cups and the Eight of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. I think you're going to decide that you're going to emotionally move away from one thing. Maybe it's something that you want. Maybe it's something that you've worked for a long time and it's just not happening. So you sort of say, oh, okay, it's just not happening, I'm going to move on. But I think there's an uncertainty for a while about exactly what you're going to do or what you're going to move to. You're still in that spinning plates, hopping from one foot to the other. Should I take left? Should I take right? What about option A? What about option B? And so I think you're going to have a period of deep uncertainty where you're really thinking about things. It's really churned up in your mind and in your heart, and you're ready to move on, but not sure what you're moving on to, what you're moving towards. You're not sure, I think a lot of you, how you're going to make a success of the future. So if you want to leave your job, you're not sure what job you're going to try for. What career shall I do? You know, I thought I was going to do this career for my life and it turns out I can't, or I don't really want to anymore. I've outgrown it. But what do I do next? And I think that's where the uncertainty comes from. If it's your love relationship, I think you're just unsure what the relationship's going to be like. And so you're torn between going back into the old energy, which you don't really want to do, or moving into a new phase of the relationship, which holds a great deal of uncertainty because you're not sure what that relationship's going to look like if you take action to change things. So I think you're going to be in a lot of tears. I think there's going to be a lot of emotional distress. So I want you to, as much as you can, to try and mitigate that and to try and remind yourself that you're lovable, that you deserve love and you deserve a great relationship. And any relationship that you're willing to put the work into deserves it. I think with the prediction, I think some of you may have heard from others that this is the way the relationship was always going to go. For others of you, you know how the relationship's going to go if you take action to do it, hence you're upset. I think a lot of you know how your partner or your employer or how things are going to happen. But because you're taking these actions, you're really going to start to shine. We've got glamour, confidence, allure, charisma. You're taking control of your life, and that makes you look really gorgeous and confident and attracts things, positive things to you. And you're wiser now because of this. You're not the same person who started off maybe even a few years ago in this relationship, in this career. You've earned wisdom. And so now that you're knowledgeable and experienced and have a bit more of an edge to you, it's all for the good. So you are ready, you are strong enough to deal with all of this. You're stronger than you think. And yes, there will be, I suspect, some pain associated to this big change, but it's still got to happen. This is specifically for your love relationship. What it's saying is that you're going to be revealing what's really been going on to your partner. I feel for a lot of you it's a partner or your boss, let's say, or your employer or whatever. Or even to yourself, is that you're being honest with yourself, that you're actually starting to communicate a lot more and sort of say, well, actually, this is how I feel about things. And I think this communication, although it's going to cause some upset initially, is only going to strengthen your relationship, because you're finally being honest, even though it frightens you and you don't want to do it. And I think a lot of you don't want to confront this and do this. It's only going to make your relationship stronger, because I think some of you are ready to walk away from this relationship, and that's what you're gearing yourself up to do. But when you actually come forward and say, this is what I want, my needs aren't being met, but they should be being met, and I want them to be met, you are going to absolutely attract this person even more. They're going to love you even more. They're going to find you even sexier. It's like you standing up to them makes them want you even more. And because you feel really great, because you're finally, standing up for yourself and, being the person that you perhaps should have been a while ago, it's going to strengthen your relationship, and I think give it a bit of a oomph. And I think for some of you, this is what the prediction was from somebody else, where they said to you, you need to come out and make a decision about this and start to express what you want and stand up for yourself. And for some of you, it's taken time to fully heed and listen to what they said. So it could be like friends and partners or parents or relatives are saying, you need to change this situation. And you've sort of avoided it. But the moment you do, and you're ready, the moment you do, the relationship's just going to come back. For some of you, you might find your partner more attractive because you're asserting yourself and you're getting more confidence in the relationship. So because you're finding your place in the relationship, you are feeling more attractive and finding them more attractive, because now there's a bit of, I think, tension going on. But absolutely, there's something here where you haven't got the power you need in a job, a friendship, any kind of relationship, or a marriage or anything. And you're going to start fighting your corner. And instead of destroying the marriage or the connection or the job, it's going to make it. And you're undecided about that, because I think some of you are ready to walk out on the relationship. But I think the message for a lot of you is that that's not what's meant to happen. What's meant to happen is that you're meant to strengthen it by coming into your true power. And I think that's why a lot of you are undecided, because you're thinking, I wanted to go, I was ready to leave, but it's actually repairing the situation. But I think, for a lot of you, you will realise the value of that you've got your self-respect and that you're really communicating with your partner. And I think it's just going to bring that spark back in your relationship that's been missing for both of you. And I think it's just going to repair things. But it's time for it to happen. So whatever does happen, whatever action you do take, it's time for you to take it. Who knows what's going to happen with this relationship? But I feel for a lot of you, it's going to repair it. And if it doesn't, it's only going to do you good for your future relationships that you're going to have. That you've learned your self-value, your self-respect, and that what you're worth, and that you can have your needs met as well. And that relationship will have that happen. So that's your reading, those of you that chose number 4. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want a more private, personal reading specifically for you, then you need to get a private reading. So you can send me an email. All the information's in the description box. I look forward to hearing from you. Otherwise, I'm going to leave you with this reading, tell you to take very good care of yourself, wish you all the best of luck for the future, and goodbye.